Hi, I'm Jane Wilson. I'm a massage therapist in Columbus, Ohio. And I would love for you to meet a dear, dear client and friend of mine, Mary Evans. Mary is 92 years old. She's a pioneer in early childhood care and development. She was a lobbyist that got licensing laws before there were laws. She has a center named after her. It's the Mary Evans Childhood Development Center. She was an adjunct faculty member at Columbus State College until just a couple of years ago when they changed their curriculum and laid off all their adjunct faculty. Now do the math. Mary was laid off at 90. She didn't retire. She was laid off. She played golf until a couple of years ago when her shoulder started giving her trouble. And by the way, none of our massages have ever been quiet. There's always been something interesting to talk about. Recently, she's gone completely wacky-doodle over Legos. We're talking about big, hard stuff, these kits that are 3 floors tall. There's a theater, there's a department store, there is a whole little winter village. Her entire dining room table is filled with Legos. The poor woman has no place to eat. She's made every kit they make, except for 3. She's not only an exquisite example of a life well lived, but she's the epitome of an elderhood well lived. She's who I want to be when I grow up. I want Mary to have everything she needs to continue the way she is right now. I want her to be able to do that for as long as she wishes. And wish is where I need your help. Those last 3 kits that she hasn't made are only on the secondary market where collectors have them. Lego doesn't make them anymore. And they range from $800 to $2,000. She can't afford that on a fixed income. But to see her eyes light up when she talks about the carousel that has a motor in it that makes it actually go around when you've made it. The green grocer. I imagine it's like Whole Foods. And then there's a corner hotel with a cafe. And to see her eyes light up like that, I want to help that happen. And I hope you'll help me do that. So please come and meet my dear friend Mary, and I hope you see what I see.
Hi, Ellen. I want to invite you into my home. I want to share with you my latest hobby, which is building Legos. My name is Mary Evans. How many people do you know that are 92 that build Legos for a hobby? It's been great fun. But about a year ago, or a little less than a year ago, there was a wonderful exhibit at the Columbus Museum of Fine Arts exhibiting Legos. Well, I had to go see it. And Christmas was coming soon. So my older grandson thought about what he wanted to get me for Christmas. And so I thought, what do I build next? And then I started looking at houses. And so I found the log cabin, and then a little house that has fire on top, and another little tiny house, and then a bigger house, and then a bigger house. And finally there weren't any more houses to build. And so I thought, well, what do I do next? And I all of a sudden thought, I can't find anything else in the stores, so it occurred to me that I better get on the internet. And a whole new world opened up to me. here were all these big buildings that didn't show, would never be sold in stores because they cost too much. But they were $150 and $200, and I thought, is that fair to pay for a hobby? And so one of the things that I do every week, I meet one of my sons for coffee every Tuesday morning. And I was telling him about what I wish I could do next. And he said, well, what one do you want next? And I said, I want the City Hall. And he said, okay, I'll get it for you. And then there's a trap door with a ladder that goes down from the rooftop. Amazing, wonderful, interesting details. So after I got this built, I was far from finished. And so as I chatted with my son, he said, well, what do you want next? And I said, I want the pet shop. And the pet shop is right here. And it came with an extra building. And one of the challenging things were to figure out how to do these spellings or the numbers. And so inside the pet shop is all kinds of animals and toys for animals. See the dog bones and the ball. And I think the veterinarian must live in this building because it looks like rooms, and on the first floor there's a tiny little room with a door, and inside the door there's a toilet. It's just so cute, I can hardly stand it. And my daughter said, what do you want for your birthday? And I said, well, a Lego, of course. And so the Grand Emporium was delivered. That's what it's called. It's really a department store. And it's just fascinating because inside the Grand Emporium, see that big candelabra? And on this floor is the toy floor with a tricycle and balls and a dollhouse and an escalator in the Grand Emporium. And on this floor below, there's china and glassware. And on the first floor, there are mannequins in the windows, a revolving door, jewelry and perfume. I just kept being fascinated by all the unusual things that I kept discovering. And so the next one I bought all by myself was the Palace Theater. See the sign? These were very hard to do. And I will say, because I'm thinking of it now, if you put a piece in the wrong place, you were doomed, because you'd have to get it out because you'd need it on the next page. Now, the level I'll show you is the theater. Can you see the seats and the projector and the screen? It's just, I just kept chuckling every time I'd put one more thing in place. And on the first floor, there's a concession stand and a place where you buy your tickets. And so then after I did that, the fire station came about. And there's an old-fashioned fire truck, and one of the interesting floors on the fire station is where they live. Inside is a kitchen, a ping pong table, a sliding pole where they go down, and it's on each floor, a couch. Just amazing. A bell in the tower, one of the pieces that I must have missed one time was this wonderful haunted house. And I think maybe it's one of my favorites. So I ordered it. And what was interesting, it works a little differently than the others, because instead of it each floor lifting off, it comes apart. It has a hinge, all made of Legos, that open it up, and then there are ghosts on the rooftop and ghosts on the gateway and the entrance, and so I just love this wonderful haunted house. That was a theme sort of that was on my mind, and I saw this asylum that was part of the Batman series, and I thought, that looks interesting, and so I ordered it, and it's just fascinating. Look at the complex opening gates there are, and the vehicle that brings these weird characters looks like a armored car, and inside, I'll have to show you, inside is a gurney where they would be strapped down. Isn't that fun? And now as you see the asylum, it's all that you remember about old-fashioned insane asylums. That's what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be like there are spotlights. Here's poison ivy trying to escape, and here's one of the others trying to escape, and here's Robin and Batman sort of trying to save this place. Well, this is a different kind of a building, and it's an open building, but I want you to see what's on the other side, because that's what's such fun. There are cells for the ones that are hard to handle, and probably a decompression chamber. And maybe this is where there might be lobotomies done, or electric shock treatments, and it's just here they're guarding the entranceway, all sorts of shops, and then all kinds of medications, and even a tower room. I don't know who would get up in that tower, but one of them just might be locked up in there. And it just represented all the most exaggerated of the Batman series. The last thing I want to show you, Ellen, is my wonderful winter village. I couldn't resist laying all of this out and having you enjoy it as well as me. There are all kinds of interesting things going on, and it'll probably stay here till way after Christmas. And I have nothing else that I can build. I've looked hard for anything that would pique my interest on the internet. I see nothing. The three that I just long for all have been retired. The greengrocer, the corner cafe and hotel, and a wonderful carousel that actually has a motor and the horses go round and round. Either those will have to be unretired. I can't afford to even think about buying them on eBay or Amazon. It just doesn't make sense. Or I'll hope for some new things that Lego will be coming out with. My frustration is, if I can't find any more Legos to build, I might have to go back to knitting. I hope you've enjoyed your visit in my home, Ellen. I hope you've enjoyed seeing all these Legos as much as I've enjoyed telling you about them. So for now, I hope we'll see each other again sometime.